Well, I guess summer is over. I gotta harvest these yard bean for the seeds. But anyhow, we're going in the back here and you can see there's still frost on the ground this morning. I've got all this basil here. It is about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius, so it's only a matter of time before this all dies on me here. Beautiful Spanish thyme or pudding. Now let's look at the size of the leaves, man. But anyhow, we're gonna harvest this and I'll show you all how to sort of preserve it or to keep it for the entire winter. 2 ingredients: the basil that we harvested in the backyard, we'll get to that in a second, and of course some coarse salt. This is kosher salt, but if you want to use sea salt, any sort of coarse salt you can use. With the basil, and you'll notice I removed all of the leaves off the stems. We don't want the stems, we just want the leaves. And what I did was I gave everything a wash and then I air dried it for about an hour or so on kitchen towels, so they're nice and dry now and washed. And that is all. What we're gonna do is load up the food processor or blender with it, and we're gonna pulse this. Yeah, I know you're wondering, well, Chris, why are you doing something that's non-Caribbean? Listen, this is part of my in-season series where I show you all how to make use of stuff that's, well, that's local to me. It could be local to you. I am based in Canada, right? And this is a way of preserving these lovely, I mean, does it ever smell good, basil leaves? So I have stuff that can, you know, a simple thing. And you're wondering, yeah, what can I do with this? Listen, the simplest form you can use this basil salt for, yes, we are doing basil salt, is you slice a tomato and you sprinkle it with some of this salt, black pepper. Man, one of the tasty snacks you'll ever have. In goes the salt. And what I did was, and I'll have the printable recipe as I always do on CaribbeanPot.com. I have about 1.5 to 2 cups pressed, you know, really, I press down in the cup here of the basil leaves, and I have 1 cup of salt. Most times you can get away with a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 cup of salt with 1 cup of basil, but I find that in doing this recipe, I don't want to lose the essence of the basil, so I like to double up on it, because as it gets older and you know, it will sit in a cool spot in your cupboard there for months, I find that the basil flavor tends to dissipate if you do a 1-to-1 ratio. So that 2-to-1 ratio, from experience, tends to be better. After about 30 seconds or so, you will need to work it down and continue going just for about a minute or so. You can see it's all coming together. Just gonna line my baking tray now with some parchment paper. We're gonna remove this. And we want to spread this evenly on here. Preheat your oven to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Just want to make sure I get all of it. That's all in the corners. Get that all on there. And you just want to spread that out now on that paper. Now, if you wanted, you can use a dehydrator. It's totally up to you. If you have a dehydrator with these sort of silicone mats, you can rock that, no problem, man. Anyhow, all we're doing now is spreading that out into a single layer. Spread it out nice and even, and into the oven now, 225, until this dries. Essentially trying to get all of the moisture out of the basil leaves, yeah? 30 minutes in the oven, and this is what I have. I'm just going to allow it to cool down, and then I'm just going to pour it all. If you need to crumble it up with your fingers a bit, you can certainly do that. It may have the tendency to want to clump, but just toss it into an airtight container. And there you go. All I got to do now is to just put it into an airtight container. I got to find one that is big enough. Well, the one I tried using is too big, so I got to organize accordingly. Let me just see if I can make this a little bit brighter for you all. There you go. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure having you all in the kitchen with me. Absolutely not a Caribbean recipe. However, I thought I'd share it as part of my in-season series, basil. It's time to harvest it, and maybe you can put it to use in making some basil salt. Gone.